The Extremism Task Force was set up in the wake of the killing of drummer Lee Rigby in Woolwich last year. Its brief is to look at whether the government is doing enough to confront extremism and radicalisation. Last year, the West Midlands saw a number of high-profile plots involving so-called homegrown terrorists, and Birmingham has been identified as a vulnerable hotspot. Our special correspondent, Peter Wilson, has been looking at the attempts of the local Muslim community to combat extremism before it has a chance to take root.
Violent extremist networks are using the internet, social media, Twitter feeds and Facebook to inspire and radicalise disaffected teenagers. The messages are seductive for young minds seeking answers. I've been invited into the Hazrat Sultan Bahu Jamia Islamia Mosque in Birmingham. 8,000 people come through these doors every week. They're worried about the unseen hands of extremists.
I'm worried. I don't want my children to become extremists. I don't want them to be hurt in an attack here by a far-right, white extremist, and neither do I want them to grow up and become brown Muslim fundamentalists or extremists. I want them to have access to reasoned, rational, peaceful people who can make them active, engaged citizens.
The vowel is changed, meanings are changed as well.
These young scholars are the imams, the religious leaders of the future. In the past, imams have always come from Pakistan or the Middle East. Now, instruction in English and careful analysis of the Quran are giving these homegrown young men the tools to challenge the extremists.
Majority Muslims for the majority of history have coexisted with people of other faith, in particular Jews and Christians, and with Sunnis and Shias and Sufis and Salafis across the world without any kind of antagonism. But it just seems with the modern climate today, you do have this few black sheep here and there which are causing these problems.
Islamic Help, the charity, is sending tons of winter clothing to the refugees in Syria. More than 100 young people have been volunteering in this warehouse, giving up their time and energy. But what do they think of British society? Do they feel valued and respected?
I'm proud to be British, so yeah, if anybody asks me, I'm British Pakistani.
Sometimes they look at you as Muslims and they think, oh, these are the ones who done the 9/11 or the 7/7. They look at you as a whole, so that's the only bad point.
I've spoken to a lot of people in my community in Birmingham that they want to help cut out all the extremists because our religion does not want this.
Can governments really legislate against extremism? Poverty, unemployment, foreign policy can all be triggers. Giving young people confidence that their religion is not incompatible with being British appears to be one answer.
We like to think we're the good guys. 99.99999% of Muslims are against all and every form of extremism and radicalisation. The bad guys are the 0.001% who tend to hide away from institutions.
These are the good guys, proud to be British, proud to be Muslim, working for the greater good. But how to reach and combat those who operate in the shadows? That remains the challenge for everyone.